All right, next up in our series on Figma, we're going to concentrate on transitions. And this gets back to where we're doing something that's kind of interactive. So I'm going to have you build a little three-screen interactive thing very quickly. Follow me. Here we go. I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to get the frame tool. This time I'm going to come over here to phone on the right-hand side and just pick something. Excuse me. I'll just use an iPhone 8. That's fine with me. I'm going to alt drag that. Let me move this over a little bit, and I'm going to alt drag that again. I could have colored it first, but that's okay. So I want three screens, and I don't care what the device size is. Really, it doesn't matter that much. I'm going to, because I want to, I'm going to fill. I'm going to fill these with a color. All right, cool. And then I'm going to real quickly just use that document color to fill the other. I'm just clicking on the screens and I'm using the document colors down at the bottom so that they're all filled the same. That doesn't really matter that much, but do what you want there. Now these just need to be labeled like 1, 2, 3. We don't have to take anything. Transitions is what I want to concentrate on, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm going to click here. I'm going to put the number 1. I just have a I have a font that's size 96 there, and so it's nice and big, and I'll just kind of pop it up here in the center. I'm going to alt drag it over, and I'm going to alt drag that over again. Now let's not leave it 1, 1, 1. Don't do that. Let's make that 2, and let's make that 3. All right, so with me so far, right? 3 screens. They're just labeled 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to need a button. We're going to have a button. So super fast, let's make a button here. I'm going to, and I might just zoom in on that if I can find it. I'm going to zoom in on that, and I'm going to bend. I want to like bend those corners like all the way to make it kind of an oval shaped button like that. And I will zoom back out so I can see what I'm doing again. Okay, cool. Again, I'm going to give it. I want to close that. I'm going to give it some color, and I'm going to give it a stroke, and I'm going to make the stroke bigger. And these details are kind of up to you. That looks okay to me. Right now, I could, in our previous lesson, we did components, and I could wind up making this a component if I wanted to. I don't know that I'm going to go to that trouble today. I could. I don't know that I will. I'm going to make some text here that just says NEXT. That's going to be way too big. I don't want it to be that big because I'm going to put it on that button. Let's take it down to like 24 or so and just pop it on there. And I might select that. And just because I like things kind of lined up and all that. And I think I'll group it. Right click and group selection or control G. All right, so that, and then I'm just going to alt drag it today. I could make a component out of it, but I'm just going to alt drag it today because I just want this to be kind of a super fast thing. And then on the third one here, this says next, next, and on the third one, I'm going to change what this says and make it say home. All right, because it's going to go back to number 1, so I'll just do that. So this hadn't been a big thing. 3 screens, they're labeled 1, 2, 3. I made a super fast button. Next, next, home. So we're kind of set up. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the top right to prototype, and then I'm going to click on this next button. And we've done this. We did this in our very first assignment. I'm going to take the connection handle, the pick whip. Give it whatever name you want to give it, but I'm going to take this little handle here and I'm going to attach it to number 2. I'll click on the button on 2 and attach that handle to 3, and then I'm going to take the button that's on 3 and that little button or the connection handle. I'm going to take it all the way back to 1. Make sure you get it all the way back to 1. So these connections are now established, right? This button is connected to 2, that is connected to 3, and that is connected back to 1. Now here we're into what I want you to play with today. All right, here it comes. I'm going to click on the button that's on screen 1, and I'm going to come up here to the interactions part of the prototype. And I'm just going to click here like where it says tap. Okay. Now you could, probably on tap is what we want. That's probably going to be the best choice for today because that way you can click it and it'll make something happen. And the navigate to is really already set up here, I think, so because we want it to navigate to the next screen. So that's probably good. It's probably set up the way we want. But here's what I really want you to kind of get in and dabble with a little bit. Right now, the animation is set on instant. And some of you may have explored this before when we did another assignment, but I'm going to drop that, and then let's start looking at some things like this. And I'm not going to show you all these. You're going to make some choices and decisions and explore and dabble and see what you think. Okay. Maybe we do a slide out. Boom. Okay. And in what direction? If you want it to slide out, do you want it to go left, right, up, down? I'm going to go up. I'm going to say up. Okay. Now, easing is something I want you to think about here. This is set on ease out, but if you click that menu, you've got some choices here: linear, ease in, ease in and out, ease back, ease out back, and you can play around with all these, right? And to help you know a little bit about, I'm going to diagram something. Sorry. So here, easing. What in the world is easing? You're going to love my caps lock is on. All right. You're going to love my artwork as you always do. Okay. Let's say that here you are sitting in your car at a stoplight. Okay. Light's red. And then the light turns green. When the light turns green, you're not instantly, like right now in an instant, going pew 40 miles an hour. That doesn't happen. You don't all of a sudden go 40 miles an hour. You accelerate. You know this, right? You're familiar with this. You accelerate. It kind of starts slowly, and then if you've ever done acceleration charts in science, the little marks are real close together to begin with, but then they spread out as you go, because what happens is you accelerate. You ease into it. You kind of go a little bit slow at the beginning, but then it goes faster because you're accelerating. Now, the same thing would be true if you're coming up to a stoplight, right? There's a stoplight here. The stoplight's red. You're in your car. Again, you love my lovely, all right, that's the best car ever. So you're in your car, and it's not like you drive up to the stoplight. You're going 30 or 40 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you just, boom, you just stop. That's not what happens. I mean, it could, but you'd probably get hurt, right? So that's not the way we do it. When we're driving up and you ease, you're decelerating. You're going faster and you slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down until you come to a stop. And that's called, that in like animation terms, that would be called an ease out. Back here when we were talking about leaving the stoplight, that would be called an ease in. Because you're sitting still and you get faster. And then when you're stopping at the stoplight, that would be called an ease out, because you're moving, and you slow down and you come to a stop. So that's ease in and ease out. That's what it is. All right. So now you kind of have a little bit of an idea. Okay, so this animation, like when I do this push out, do I want easing on both ends of it? Do I want to kind of accelerate and then slow down? Or do I just want to boom this right into it, but I want to ease out? It's just slow down at the end. Or do I want to accelerate slowly and then just stop, right? And you've got choices here, and you can play with all of these things and see what you come up with. Maybe I'll set this on ease in and ease out. Okay. So now I've set, this is what I want you to do. I want you to set some animation options here. I did a slide out, and I did set some easing, and I got a direction going on. So now let's go ahead and do it for the other buttons. I'll click over here. I'll go up here. Tap is probably going to be the best idea. Navigate to is probably going to be the best idea. All right. So again, let's get it off of instant and do something else. That's what I want you to do today. Let's say dissolve. That's kind of like a fade, I think. And let's do, I don't know, we'll ease out back. I'll just try that. Okay, cool. And then I'll click the home button here, and we'll go to where it says task. See, once you build this little thing, there's not that much to do, but I want you to play with these animation things and start to get a feeling for what you like and what you prefer, because we have a project coming up where you're going to be making a lot of transitions from screen to screen, and So I'd like for you to play with Smart Animate. To be honest, I haven't played with Smart Animate very much, like at all. I'm not. I don't know a lot about what that does. So maybe experiment. See what you come up with, right? Okay. So now I've on all three of these buttons, I have set some animation options, and that's what the transition, the animation, that's what I want for today. Okay, now before we quit, we should play it. Up here in the top right, we should play it. All right, so here it comes. All right, and I was on 3 when I started that. So if I click here, and I see there's that push up, and now the smart animation, I'm not sure I'm seeing a whole lot of. It looks like a dissolve to me, but you can definitely see like right here on when I'm on 1, I get that push up. Right on 2, I had a dissolve. On 3 going back to 1 looks a lot to me uh, like a dissolve. But if I had more stuff on this design, it might kind of look a little bit different. Now remember, when you're doing a preview, it opens in a new tab, so I can close that tab. And and here's the thing: if I decide it didn't really turn out the way I wanted, I could come back here and like on number 3, you know what? Don't want to do that smart animate. That didn't turn out all that good. So let's do a push, and let's go in a direction, and let's throw in some easing. Let's do an ease out. So I made a change on 3, right? I just click the button. I come back up here to the animation settings and just make a change. And maybe I'll go play that again just for kicks and giggles. All right, so boom. And so I get that push up. And there's I get a dissolve. And on 3 going back to 1, I get that look right there. So it's a matter of you're trying to create some transitions and interaction kinds of things that you like as a designer. That's what we're looking at doing here today. So I'm going to go ahead and close that tab. And I don't know, did I rename this yet? I did not rename this one yet. So this is about transitions. All right. So I'm going to call this transitions demo. Boink. And that is it. That's what we're doing today. That's what we're concentrating on. That's what you would work on turning in. All right, so you come up here and hit share. Make sure that it's anyone with the link, not just people that invited to this file. Anyone with the link, copy the link, turn that link in. Bingo.